In this video, we're going to talk about writer's block and generate song ideas with a hijack of brain function. We're also going to talk about how to capture those ideas and collect them for development later. I'm Eric, and this is the video series where we produce original music and walk through any of the problems we might have along the way. In the last video, we discussed how to make a detailed plan for our project, and we decided we were going to start speaking the language by immersing ourselves in content in line with that plan. It is crazy important that you make a plan and you do that step, but we can plan and visualize and work backwards, and we'll get nowhere unless we actually do. So we need to start coming up with song ideas. We need a lot of ideas to start developing into this actual record. And for a lot of people, I think that's the big bad wolf. Even for myself, when I was starting, it was always really daunting to look ahead at how many tracks I would like and feel confident that I could come up with that many solid ideas. So yeah, I don't know, I'll call this creative solution to problem number one. A method that I've found works really well for consistently coming up with song starters. And I have been looking forward to making this video since I started planning the channel. So it was really difficult for me not to give away the ending at the end of the last video that we did as to why we're curating our intake. It goes like this. When you repeatedly expose yourself to specific content, your brain gets more receptive to recognizing the things you tell it to recognize. The human brain is wired to connect dots and find patterns even if there's nothing really there. Called pareidolia, and it's the part of your brain that shows you figures or suggests shapes in random blocks of ink or big fluffy clouds that, you know, nothing is actually there, but still looks like Pikachu. I don't know if you see where I'm going with this, but pareidolia also happens with sound. So really what we're doing when we're surrounding ourselves with select content is priming the part of our brain that looks for patterns to start looking for those patterns. In an ink blot of ambient sound or constant noise without any intentional pattern, our brain's gonna start making one up for us. And it's gonna pull from what it knows best, the most recent neural connections or whatever that it can pull from, and that will be what we tell it to. So I kind of came across this by accident in like 2013 when my newborn son was having a hard time sleeping. I would sometimes turn the shower on, the noise would chill him out. And then one night I found myself drumming and singing along to the shower. By the way, I can't take credit for like any of this. I didn't write a paper or take a class or anything. I'm just kind of a nerd. I'm not even the first guy to suggest it. I think it was Brian Eno who would lay out like 5 or 6 different AM radios and just like jam to them. So, I mean, yeah, I guess you could do that. Or more importantly, you could start really paying attention and noticing when you're in these kinds of situations, because they happen all the time. And when you're there, you need something to record it quickly because there's no way you're going to remember if you don't. So if something jumps out at you, great, grab the voice recorder on your phone and fire that out. But if it doesn't, another thing you can do is just kind of Ouija board it. And that's tough because you got to be a little bit brave. Let the spirits push the needle or whatever you want to call it. I started doing that on my morning walk to work, and it sounds like this. It's important to kind of know that all of these voice notes or however you're documenting this stuff, it's going to sound really silly, and that's cool. It doesn't have to mean anything to anybody but you. They're supposed to be sparks for you to develop later into bigger things. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. This is like a 15 to 30 second thing that will improve your ability over time. Make sure to do this every single day and don't throw anything away. If you do this every single day, you'll notice that you're getting better, and you'll also be sitting on top of a mountain of song starters. Yeah, and it's really important to do this every single day. Every single day. Make sure to do this every single day. Starting to see a pattern here. Want to be a better writer? Do more writing. Takeaway. White noise is your friend. Notice when you're in that kind of situation. Have something to record with on hand all the time. These voice notes or recordings are just for you, so get weird.
Science is cool.
So that ties up this one. Next video is going to be all about how we develop these song starters into something that we can play around with a little more later. Let me know in the comments if you've heard of this or done this before yourself or have a plan for how you're going to implement these sort of things. I think it's a really cool thing to talk about. I will be jumping into the actual recording software, and I'm not going to do like a recording 101 kind of thing. There's already a million videos on YouTube that you can check out. I'll link some maybe, but I could do like a quick writing template sort of rundown. If that's something anybody's interested, would you let me know? Yeah, all this stuff is super fun to talk about, but until then, we'll see you in the next one.